start our live team coverage in Kokomo, Indiana, where not one but two tornadoes touched down on Sunday.
50 miles north of Indianapolis is Kokomo, home to over 55,000 people. Our Mike Seidel is there this morning. Mike, you see a lot of things, but you don't often expect to see a car in a basement.
That's the powerful force of those tornadic winds. Now, it was an EF2 here, winds as high as 135 miles an hour, just raking through the landscape. We'll come over here. This is the Rollins home. There were 5 kids down in the basement. They headed to the basement. They didn't have much time. You know, these tornadoes were moving at 60 miles an hour. That's about double a typical speed, usually 20, 30 miles an hour. They got down to the basement. The tornado came through and just blew the house to smithereens over towards the railroad tracks and across the road. This vehicle came out of the garage, fell into the basement on top of one of those girls. In fact, she was trapped. They got her out, but she had the fewest scratches. We had some injuries. One girl, at least as of last night, was still in the hospital. And the Rollins family, they were out here yesterday. They had friends and neighbors picking through the debris, trying to find what they could and salvage. They'll be back out here today. But this is the real gem. Mrs. Rollins lost her husband last year in summer of 2012, and this was his dream car. This is a beauty coming from someone who's pushing 58 years old. This is a Plymouth Duster, basically in mint condition. It came through the tornado pretty good. And look at this, we've got a treadmill back here. So they're trying to salvage what they can here at the Rollins home. One thing is for sure, they've got a long way to go. This morning, still about 15,000 customers without power in the Kokomo, Marion, Indiana area. Straight line winds also a big issue. Up at the Gus Grissom Air Force Base in Peru, they had a wind gust to 84 miles an hour. Up in Grant County in Gas City, National Weather Service says winds could have gusted as high as 100 miles an hour, taking out that Dollar General store. So Maria, a whole litany of issues here. The chainsaws, they're back on this morning. The front end loaders and the heavy equipment have kicked back in on a frosty morning here in Kokomo.
But the sun is still shining. Mike Seidel live for us this morning. We appreciate your report.